Okay, hi everybody. Doing a video update. Today is October 10 and I'm here at Maine and Hazel. The corner that's closest to the amphitheater. So St. Paul has a small amphitheater. It's like over there. So it's in those buildings over there, and this is the closest intersection where there's a lot of people going by. And you know, this main street is ever busy, you know, I mean, I guess it's a main street, you know, like I've been in a lot of towns, they all have main streets, and Main Street's always busy. I just don't, I don't know why exactly, but I'm kind of new to Ottawa, and I'm not exactly the best with, like, it takes me a long time to like get a grid in my head of how everything is connected or whatever. So, but yeah, it's definitely a main street. It's always very busy. Today the theme is Georgette Whiteduck, perpetuates genocide. On the back is not everybody's favorite, although most days I do wear the DEI is fake, the diversity, inclusion, and equity is fake, as it's very relevant to most of my protests. But today, instead, I'm wearing an old one. SPU erases MMIWG survivors, which is, you know, the theme of my protest today. So in the amphitheater, there's an event hosted by the Indigenous Center here. So like the Indigenous Center here is fake. So, you know, there's employees there such as Georgette Whiteduck, and they don't do a whole lot. I mean, you know, and I mean, like I've been in that, they spent a lot of money, it looks like, on that center, and it's there with like the high level administrators, like their offices and that. It's like in that same area. And all those are actually by the amphitheater as well. You know, I'm pretty sure that Georgette Whiteduck pulls in a pretty decent salary for what, I don't know. Because there isn't a lot of anything that I can really talk about, you know. I mean, there's a few events maybe, they're not very well attended. And I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if Georgette Whiteduck was the only Indian like it that is in that center. There's some other people, if you look it up on the website, there's some other people associated with the center who claim to be Indigenous. I don't know who those people are, and I don't know whether or not they're Indigenous. But you know, from my conversations with my former supervisor, Aurélie Lacassagne, one of the worst humans that I know, particularly the conversations in 2023, I mean, she didn't straight out say that the others besides Georgette are pretendians, fake Métis, whatever. But that was kind of the gist that I got, and that's sort of what I gathered. And it is not surprise. It doesn't come as a surprise to anyone, especially not me or Aurélie Lacassagne. Very, very common. We've seen it over and over and over and over. Yeah, you know, Aurélie Lacassagne used to pretend to be Métis back in my undergrad. So I finished undergrad in 2010, and at the time, Aurélie Lacassagne was pretending to be Métis. I know that their thesis, Aurélie's thesis, is also on Métis something. It's in French. I haven't read it. You know, with AI, I could probably get it translated and figure it all out, have it summarized and all that kind of stuff now, if you could find it. Sometimes they hide that stuff too. And then she stopped pretending to be Métis because at Laurentian University, while I was doing my master's around 2015, there was a lot going on around this fake Métis, especially around the ones that are associated with the MNO, the Métis Nation of Ontario, which is totally a fake organization full of racists and genociders, mostly white people. The ones who are Indigenous are not Métis, and this idea that they were pushing since the 80s. Like in BC when I was growing up, a lot of my friends, their parents were training them to say that they were Métis, because if they were mixed and if they had like an Indigenous ancestor from like all these centuries ago, they started acting as if that's the definition of Métis, and it's not. Métis are like, what they say is that they're a distinct people. Like I'm not an expert in Métis, so I'm not trying to offend anybody. But what they say is that they're like a distinct people, right? And they originate from that Red River area and all that kind of stuff. And whatever it was that went on with the rebellion and various things, like the wars in Canada, various like conflicts, Indian wars, and different kind of displacing Indigenous people, all this kind of stuff. I know some of them are in Alberta, and there's probably some real ones in Saskatchewan, but none of those historic communities or whatever, there are no such thing in Ontario. So like around 2015, I started noticing that there was some kind of buzz about all this, and I didn't realize that they were trying to, I didn't know that they were saying they had historic communities, and I didn't know that they were trying to get their hands on Canadian tax dollars that should be going to real Indigenous people, and I didn't know that they were after our land. Absolutely not a surprise. That's what racists and genociders and colonizers do. So but Aurélie Lacassagne got right involved in that, because there was a bunch of people working on it at Laurentian at the time, and they weren't telling us what was going on. These are very serious matters, what I just said about colonization and genocide, okay? And they weren't telling us that Shelley Moore Frappe was involved in that. Celeste Pedro-Spade was involved with that. And also was Daryl Leroux and Aurélie Lacassagne, who translated Daryl Leroux's work into French, and worked with these people on this kind of stuff. So once Aurélie realized that scam is not a viable scam, she stopped saying she was Métis. So just FYI, that's what these kind of people do. As soon as they see a scam that they think that they want to hop on the bandwagon like everybody else, and that's BS. That's BS. And I was horrified as a kid that parents are brainwashing their own children, telling them that they're Métis when they're not. That's lies. And you know what happens? These children grow up and they end up in these university classes sitting right beside us. And that's what happened in my master's. My time in my master's, there was all kinds of those students acting as if they're Métis all around us and in our classes, and no one was telling us that the enemy is sitting right beside you. And those people should also be horrified, because they probably thought that what they were told was true. Imagine growing up your whole life, and your parents tell you something is about who you are, your entire who you are, and they lied, and you realize as an adult in university that they lied, and that you're pretending in a fake Métis. That's brutal. This is the kind of trauma that's going on out here, chums. So anyway, back to Georgette Whiteduck. There's no way that she doesn't know who I am. There's no way that she hasn't known who I am for several years. There's no way that she doesn't know that I'm an MMIWG survivor. There's no way that, I'm not saying she's implicated in what they did to me, but I'm saying that she's complicit. And this is the problem that we have with First Nations leadership, right? And we have to hold our own leadership accountable, because this is BS. What's going on out here is, if you want to have one of these fake jobs, you have to become a genocider of your own people. That's literally what's going on. And the youth need to know that, okay? And somebody has to get up and do something about it, because the youth don't want don't want a fake job. They don't want a meaningless life of pretending. right? And all kinds of other violence, genociding their own people, and all kinds of other violence just to keep their fake jobs. Okay, it's not a meaningful life for the youth. We're depriving them of a meaningful life, and it's not okay. So we have to do something about that, and we have to absolutely smash that whole situation, because I don't know who anybody thinks they are, these boomers or anybody else, but anybody in my generation and generations under me that think that we're going to start, that we're going to condone that kind of future for our youth. And that's the kind of BS future that we're going to be perpetuating for them. I'm sorry, but the answer is no to that. And so, Georgette Whiteduck will get all dressed up, acting like she's some kind of hero of MMIWG, acting like she's some kind of hero of Orange Shirt Day. And I'm telling you, she ain't no hero. She's a lot of things, but she ain't no hero, okay? So she's here, she's got a fake job, she watched me race an MMIWG survivor. It's genocide, okay? People like Georgette Whiteduck are the reason why this genocide perpetuates. I hope she enjoys her fake job, because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, and I wouldn't be able to live with myself. It's disgusting. It's a death cult, and your ancestors can see you. So that's all I have to say about that kind of stuff for today. I mean, it's a pretty long video, actually. I wanted to make it before it turned nighttime. I'll probably be out here till around 8:30. I don't know when this thing ends, 8:30 or 9. So that's my plan. And thanks for watching.